Started. All right, well, welcome back, everyone. It is day 5. We actually made it to the formal, official end of the week, and today is revenue rhythm. It's not the final call, though, of this challenge. So every time I usually do a 6th day, which will happen on Monday. We'll come back together on Monday to really do some integration because this week we've covered a lot. We started the week looking at sort of where you were. And I know for many people, they've been so busy as life is that many people have reached out this week saying, I didn't know it was starting. So this is evergreen. You can go back. You can go right back to day 1, which let's see if I have a slide for day 1. I don't have a slide for day 1. I'm going to go back in our past calls here. Here's one. We talked about resetting the lens and looking through the landscape of FlowFlex Scale, which is a solopreneurial sort of operating system, looking at what's going to help you get into some movement or amplify your flow. And a big part of resetting your lens is not only your spark, but it's also looking at business context. So I hope this week, whether you're doing this live or asynchronously, that it gives you a chance to really reset your lens. What's working now? What do you want to have is working now? And that led us in day 2 really into, I think, some of there was real energy on Tuesday this week around getting connected in with who you're serving right now. And what do they need today? Not 3 months ago, not 6 weeks ago. What do they need today? And hopefully that's going to clarify your offer so that you can really be in dialogue with your people. As much as we live in an asynchronous world, I think relationships are even more important, especially in the era of AI. AI is allowing us to do amazing crunching of data and synthesis of information, but it cannot replace the human connection. And so, Wednesday of this week, we looked at 7 different types of conversations to be having, whether they're catalytic conversations, whether they're connection conversations, whether it's looking at building currency, building trust. And so, I would invite you, if you haven't had a chance, to download the 7 conversations for 7 conversations that matter in times of change. And it's a purple booklet that I developed about a year ago. I've been doing a lot of speaking on it, not only in the coaching world, but with leaders, because I think sometimes we think conversations have to be everything. We just want to really make it what is meaningful in that instance. Because for most of us, we are solopreneurs, we're a one-person show. It is about building that, knowledge base, building those tight relationships. So hopefully you are getting multiple engagements over the years, over time. And that helps us to really scale and sustain the revenue rhythm. So today we are officially on day 5. It is about building the revenue rhythm. Some of you, it sounds like Barbara, you've watched the video. Kathy, have you had a chance to watch the video yet for today? No, not yet. You're on the move. So, Barbara, not to put you on the spot, but what did you take from that notion of building a revenue rhythm? Is there something little that we can springboard off of today?
Actually, I put in there that I have a very unhealthy rhythm and that I really need to work on that. Like that was because I literally was finishing and so that is I have the document um
Mm.
right here and what is the rhythm you want as a business owner? And I wrote not what I'm currently doing. I need to stop working so much. So help. But
Okay,
literally
well there we go. So that's an interesting. Can we do a little bit of work around that right now? And if
oh
would you like a little bit of spot coaching on that, if you're open to
um no, that is totally fine.
it? So I hear you say something I'm hearing a lot of right now, which is I'm working so much, but it's not getting traction. So what are you noticing? What are you noticing in general about, what is providing impact and what is spending a lot of time and maybe not
Yeah.
getting impact?
There's just a lot of the solopreneur stuff that isn't necessarily revenue getting, but it's stuff that needs to get done. And
Yes.
so I find that I work on the stuff that would be revenue producing during the day, but then I continue to work on all the other pieces at night. And so that I'm just continually
Fun.
working on stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And I know a few minutes ago before we started recording, you were talking about AI, and I'm just curious, have you started enabling any AI agents? Are you even thinking about that to help you with some of the business trappings of work, right? Like to run a business, it is a lot
Yeah.
of things. It's the accounting, it's the booking, it's the this, it's the that. Have you started thinking of expanding a focus on AI as a possibility? Or do you want to
I
go the
would
other
love
route?
to, yeah, I would love to know more about it. Yeah, like I said, I've been using that one particular AI that works, that helps a lot with the marketing and
Thinking.
such for that language for that.
Hmm.
And I use Once Hub, like I have some tools, but I also, so the work that I've been doing, I've been getting a lot of low-hanging fruit, people I've known for a long time, and now all of a sudden I need to start working to get more clients in that area. My regular client load is normal and is consistent in my regular
Hmm.
coaching stuff. That other area that we were talking about, now I need to really start working on it. And so
Yes.
that's what I'm working more as far as the marketing piece is concerned.
And I love it. If we sort of go back to yesterday when we're scaling a new product line, where we're scaling a new service offering, if I can call what you and I were talking about, that's a new service
Yeah.
offering. And it means that, we're either one going to need to go back to people we have served already, but it's
Mhm.
probably building new assets, new materials, maybe even new pricing structures, which can take time. And so one of the things we've also talked about this week is the notion of like the daily steps. So what are you building really now for the next quarter? If you imagine those 12 weeks, 13 weeks over the next quarter, what's the one action you want to be focusing on each and every week? So that maybe by 3 months from now, you've got things built and, I hear, out in the world as well, because it's visibility doesn't just happen overnight. It needs to be built and then taken to the market space.
Great question. And have a thought process, but it is wonderful to be saying out loud. And that is, like I said, I've gotten the low hanging fruit. I've taken
Mhm.
all those people through the program that would want to be doing the program. And now I need to start reaching out to, I have a relatively robust, like 800 person newsletter list, whatever, that I have not engaged much in recent years. And so
Mhm.
I've written for both coach, it's going to be more like a digest. So I've got coaching and that other area listed. And so I've written 4 articles that are going to come out like every couple of weeks.
Excellent.
And the call to actions are going to get, they're softer in the beginning, and then it's going to build up more towards, now that I've built up that know, like, and trust factor, that I can then start doing a webinar or something and start
Nice.
to try and get some more people. So that's what's been in the back of my head. It is absolutely lovely to name that, because it does make me feel like I do have a plan as
You do have
opposed
a
to,
plan, and now it's to execute the
yeah,
plan. Yeah.
yeah.
And that's it. It's like I think we all have the plan and then it takes longer or life happens or the world happens. And that's part of
Yeah.
why I really felt called this week to do the business reset because I think we are now at the end of Q1. Most of us spent a lot of time November, December making great plans. We've been working, we've been adding. Now it's like, okay, what's it going to take to reset and to schedule and to do in the next quarter? And I'm hearing for you, Barbara, you've got real clarity. You know what you need to be doing. It's just continuing to find the time. And one of the things we talk about in the Flow Flex scale is productivity and execution, right? They're two different things. When are we most productive? Looking at workflow, workload, can things be shrunk? Can we be doing them differently at different times of the day, different times of the week? Can we be stacking our work together so there's less cognitive strain as we're doing a lot of switching? So these are also things that looks like you might have been thinking about them already, but they're real issues that, can shave an hour or two off. And sometimes that's all we need, right?
Mhm.
It really is that. And in sustaining, I'll just spotlight for all of us, not you, Barbara, but all of us is like, how do we also build in renewal cycles? Because the world and our conversations are demanding a lot of us. How are we making sure that we are renewing? Because 1 hour of work is not always an equal hour of work when we're exhausted. We'll say that again. And it's good. It's Friday, and I certainly don't think I'm alone on this, but by Friday my batteries are a little bit more drained than they were at the start of the week. So, yeah, well, good. And what are you taking from all of this, Barbara? Looking at your thing, what is your commitment to yourself and your business for Q2 on growing, continuing to grow and scale this new program line?
Again, I really appreciate your question. I have felt like I have a direction, but I haven't articulated out loud, and that really there's such power in that. And because I've been kind of beating myself up that I haven't gotten at some things earlier, whatever, but I do feel like I know who my audience is. I know what my I have increased my prices over the last few years, so I've clarified my offer more. I know the conversations I need to have, whether or not I'm having them, but that I need to have. And then
Mhm.
it's that visibility piece that I'm really going to be working on in order to create that revenue rhythm. So this has just
Yeah.
really tightened up all the thoughts. And I appreciate this list as well to really look. I have not tapped into some of those and I need to tap into some of them a little bit better. So
Mhm.
that was also really helpful this week.
Yeah, and I think, I really, when in thinking about what could we do over 5 days, like really take people through the focus on self, through conversation to visibility. I would say this has been a sort of sticking point for a lot of folks. We know it, we have the plan, but do we execute on the plan? And I can't stress enough with today's world of algorithms how important the consistency is. We've seen it, and we do a lot on YouTube, but this year, for the last 3 months, I've actually not done what I've done for almost 10 years in the business, which is bi-weekly community calls on Tuesdays. So that was always feeding YouTube and the algorithm with new content. One of the things that's critical in today's world of visibility is we are moving out of a landscape of SEO into a landscape of AEO. So AEO, I touched on a little bit on day one of this challenge. AEO reads things differently, right? It is the algorithm of AEO is very much, I'm just trying to find a note I took yesterday because I actually went to a session by an AEO specialist. I am not going to find it here on the desk right now, but AEO being I was incorrectly calling it AI enabled optimization. It's actually answer enabled optimization. I did not know that until yesterday. So AEO, the way the chats and the GPTs of the world are hearing things is through the problem lens. How do I blank? What can I do to blank? So it is actually indexing things differently, which means implications for how we're positioning our visibility. So I've been having even after going to this AEO specialist, it was a 20-minute talk that someone was giving. So I'd encourage you to just go out into the internet and sort of look for it. But the reality of Q1 2026, people are searching differently. They go to chat, they say, hey, who is the top blah, blah, blah of this industry? And so if you're showing up there, great, but how do you get there? And that is really by consistent, multi modal, so meaning it could be verbal, it could be written. We go back to something I've talked about in Plan, Do, Track. It's the 3 R's. It's, write your content, repurpose it, re-syndicate it, which means if I've got a blog post, am I going to put it into a YouTube video? Do I put that from long form video into a short? People aren't consuming 30-minute calls anymore. I may, as part of this evergreen process of it, this being a challenge I hope people will return to, not only at the end of this quarter, but next quarter, the next quarter, we can actually be taking and creating shorts out of that. Part of the AI functionality is you no longer need to have an app. You can do that now in YouTube. YouTube has its own shorts creator. This is just in the last month, which is amazing. So as a solopreneur, right, it can actually be really, really fast to repurpose, republish, re-syndicate. And Kathy's saying, what is evergreen? So, what is evergreen means we're doing it over time. It's not a one and done. It's a, I'm going to offer this business reset. I'm going to be promoting it at the end of every quarter. This is, something we can go back to. Nothing is temporal, like you have to do it the third week of March. It could be done at any time. So, it's something that is really evergreen. But the value, I think, has also been these live calls. So I might do evergreen, watch the videos, do that as an automation. Anyone signing up for the list at the end of June 2026 might get day one drop, on demand video, day two drop, on demand video. But I could have the same conversation Sparker Zone where they can come back and see what we've been saying this month, or we also have a new feed of what is the next one. So again, what is why I'm sharing this in such detail is there is so much noise and there is so much need in an algorithmic environment to really be consistently giving messaging. So FlowFlex Scale has been around for about 6 months now, right? It is an evolution of a program that ran for 7 years, but it's been a 6 month old program and it still takes time to get the word out in the world. So we're modeling it every day. And I think why I brought this one visual back for revenue rhythm is you want to be thinking about where are you showing up consistently with what message for the people that are needing it right now, but what are you noticing about the data? You're not going to see it in a week. You might see it in a quarter. Where are you starting to get traction? And is it the right format? So again, if you're putting one thing out on, I'll use YouTube again. If I'm distributing on YouTube, how am I also maybe doing Substack? We've actually, and I'd love to invite all of you to go to our Substack for FlowFlex Scale. So it's flowflexscale.substack.com. And Substack is a really interesting platform. It's often a writing-based platform, but they've also got a notes, what is called notes section, which is a quick feed. So with FlowFlex Scale, it's taken longer than I had hoped to get a website up. The web designer has had it for 2 months, so much longer, but it's going to look really nice when it's done. But, again, I can't do everything. So by Q2, flowflexscale.com is going to be live as a full-blown site. And in the meantime, I'm like, I've got to have Substack. So head on over, flowflexscale.com, substack.com. I put up there once a month our one biz step a day calendar. So it's every day a business step that you can be taking as a prompt. There's also articles, and I'm also posting sort of the daily feed of this into there as well to see what gets watched over time. It's an experiment. So I pause there. Today is revenue rhythm, right? But revenue rhythm is contingent on visibility. So there's no magic bullet here. Every business is different with revenue rhythm. And I have to say, it starts with a start. What are you tracking? And then what are you noticing? And where are your offers? So you can really go back to everything we've done this week to really start dialing in your revenue rhythm. I would assert that in 2026, going forward, it is also about visibility. How are you being seen? And notice that it's not just the social channels, right? It's not just LinkedIn or YouTube or TikTok or Instagram or Substack. It's really about the connection. So speaking with a live audience or speaking on an on-demand channel like a podcast where people can build that know, like, and trust you factor, as Barbara said, where they can hear how you stand out uniquely, which was day three, right? What makes you stand out? In a world of AI where everything is generic, I think this is meaning that we as humans want to stand out even more. And so that's personal brand, but it's also experience brand. And so, as I shared, the big draw on Monday will be for an experience design audit, taking one of your programs and looking at what might you do to further tighten, strengthen, infuse, so that you are creating wow experiences that people are saying, you got to go here, right? Because once you do the work, a really important channel, I think even more in the algorithmic era, is getting referrals, right? Being the person to go to. So, Barbara, hey, have you met Barbara? She's the best at this. Hey, have you met Kathy? She's the best at this. So, really wanting to plant that seed. This might be a future, I think this might actually be a future challenge that I'll do down the road. But I do want people, as the revenue rhythm of today, really thinking about what is the actual sort of rhythm that you're moving through each and every year and each and every week, each and every quarter. So there's an inquiry for you to sit with this weekend. I know, Kathy, you're going on to a flight. So you might think about, what are your anticipated revenue streams for this next quarter? Really get specific because, as Barbara has shared, one of the things that we always struggle with as a solopreneur or micro business is time. And so where is the money coming in? What are we noticing about that? As I said in day one, do we want to look at adding on a multiple stream, right? Whether it's one more product or service, and being strategic in building that out. I think you can both appreciate that comment of like you build maybe one thing a year, right? That has been the strategy I've had in this business. Everyone looks at the business as, whoa, you offer so much. Because intentionally, every year I have built one thing. Over 22 years, you've got 22 product lines or programs or items. It hasn't taken weeks of my time because I build it incrementally as I go. So, I want to leave this with you as a sort of a business owner yourself. What are your revenue streams? I would also say, what are your revenue sources? What are the things that are going to really support you in achieving your goals? Because we've only just started in 2026. So if you have a copy of the Flowflex Scale Calendar, this is one of the new products for 2026. I had a lot of requests over the years for a actual like planning calendar where people can go week to week and follow put their appointments in. But there is always, and I think I can go to April. Let me just see what I've written in it. I could go into it that okay. So there's a monthly calendar and there's space on the other side to really be setting your goals for the month of April and doing a bit of a reflection. Write it down. If it's not written down, we're not going to do it. And you can choose whether you put it in your AI. Most people are. Again, we talked Monday about security settings and how to make sure that your proprietary business is safer. It is not safe on an AI of any kind. However, like what do you share, what do you don't share? And what do you keep in your notebook, which is always going to be your notebook. So Monday, we're going to come back together. We're going to be doing a wrap up. I have to say, I've got a canvas for you. Let's see if I can get to the canvas for a second. Zoom is doing really weird things today. I'm not going to end the meeting, but I'm going to stop my share for a sec because I want to share this canvas that I've got. If you have time this weekend, you may want to just spend a little bit of time. I think it's in this one here. Let's see if I pulled it in. Here we go. Here's the Business Reset Challenge. So we've done a lot of work this week. Sorry to move around. I think it's sharing a different. You know what? What I'll do is I'll share the AI prompts for the day, and then I'll show you if I can. I'll show you this canvas. But I think people have really enjoyed the prompts. So your last set of prompts for this week, and Kathy, you can maybe do this on the plane or while you're waiting for your plane. Business foundations. Act as a business systems advisor. Based on the following description of my business, suggest three simple systems or workflows that could help me maintain consistency in marketing, client relationships, and revenue gen. So, Barbara, that speaks to something you talked about earlier. It'll be interesting for you to see that. I love the revenue prompts because think as a business operations strategist based on the following description of my business, and it will have your information. Help me design a simple weekly revenue rhythm that includes consistent actions for visibility, conversations, and offers. So I haven't said it explicitly, but really the weekly revenue rhythm in our work of sort of flow, flex, scale, plan, do, track, even the new AI empowered solopreneur and coach. I shouldn't call it new because it's been around for a year, but it really is this rhythm of creating structures, creating conversations, creating marketing, so visibility, so that you get things out consistently. And then, of course, there is our mindset prompt. Act as an executive coach. Help me identify mindset patterns that really might disrupt my consistency or follow through. Suggest practical habits that support sustained momentum. And so, Barbara, I know you've got to drop in a minute. The canvas is a one pager. I'm thinking with the way these things are going on Zoom, I see it on my screen. Let's try one more time to stop share and share this. It's going to be as a visual, as a JPEG, full page in your Conversation Sparker Zone. So I encourage you to go get that, download it. It's something you can build on throughout the rest of the week. And I'll bring it in on Monday. So it's just a one
And it's
pager where
already
I've taken,
available?
pardon?
It's already available?
It's not available yet. I'm going to upload it this afternoon and it will go in the newsletter as well. So I'll include it as a PDF that you can download. Kathy, you're at an airport. You can sketch it out. Let me try one more time to see if I can share the screen. I don't know what this is doing today, but it is it's going to be over here. Here we go. Just before Barbara drops out. Now, for those that are listening, Monday's call. Where is it? Monday's call is going to be, here's the canvas. Okay. So you've got everything under one roof. You've got the avatar work that we did day two. You're looking at your focus. You're thinking about the offer work that you did day two. You're pulling in your SWOT from day one. You're looking at your visibility of day four, conversations of day three, and insights for revenue. It's all on one page. I really want you to have it all in one page so that on a regular basis you can pull this out, even weekly, so that you can have your to-dos and your insights in front of you. Because too much, we're not going to follow through with it. So Monday is 11:30. No, sorry, 11 a.m. 11 a.m. for 30 minutes. Barbara's just had to drop off. She is saying thank you. So I hope that you have found today valuable. Kathy, you are with me. What
Yep.
is the value of today's conversation?
Well, I mean, I've heard the three R's, but just rethinking that, I have been looking to put up my visibility in different ways. But I think
Mhm.
what's not there yet is the coherent connection. And I think I need to think through that a bit. And then I have this whole AEO just really, I have to go down the rabbit hole on that. And
Yeah.
just to confirm last thing, Jennifer, you said 11 on Monday or 10? If it's 11, I can join
11. It'll be 11
okay,
on Monday. So
for
11
this.
on
Okay.
Monday, right
Okay.
after Flow Flex Scale, right after that for half
Okay.
an
So I
hour.
can join this, but I won't be able to join unless something happens, I won't be able to join the flex scale.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Sounds good. Well,
Thank you.
to everyone, thank you. We'll see you Monday for the big draw and for doing some integration. So have a good weekend, everyone, and we'll see you on Monday. Take care. I'm going to shut down this Zoom room. Bye.